Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I look dead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I look dead today. I am. I'm not. I'm not dead. I promise. I am alive and well. Actually, you know what? I'll just leave it like that. I was gonna put on a little lip color, but meh, it's fine. All right. Sorry, guys. My contacts are itching me. Um. Okay. So, how is everyone? If you guys didn't see the title of the stream, I said let's role play because today I want to do something a little bit different. Okay, I want us to have a couple of people on the panel, just like one or two at a time. And what I want to do is present to you all with a scenario, and you have to role play in said scenario. Okay, so I may make you think like a liberal. I might tell you because majority of us are conservative. So I might have to, whoever's on the panel, I'm going to tell you to argue in favor of something that you normally would argue against. Okay? So this is something that I want to try with you all today, and it's only because I'm interested. I'm interested to see if you all are capable of thinking as the other person, because oftentimes we all get stuck in our own boxes. We all believe that we're right no matter what. But to challenge your own belief and to see where another person is coming from and to try to understand their possible reasonings for things may make you better at being conservative. Not I'm not saying, oh, let's understand. No. It makes you a better conservative, and it will make you better at arguing too. If you end up having arguments with another liberal, because you are able to think like them, you won't be caught up at all if you have to face off with a liberal or whatever. Liberal is just an example, but yeah. So, but before all of that, there's something I want to share with you. I was in the tubes earlier today, and as I was in the tubes, of course, I get into YouTube fights. You guys know that already, and I've been banned plenty of times on YouTube because of such. And today we had a topic. Somebody told me, "Oh, so Trump is back as president. What? You think that Trump is so great?" I replied, "Yes." And he replied, "So what? You would put him up there with the great presidents, Lincoln, um, what's the other one? FDR, all, would you put them up there?" And I said, "Yes." I said, "Yes, I would put Trump maybe not above Lincoln and the other ones, but I would put them on the same level." And then when the question was proposed to me, why, I responded accordingly. Now I'll tell you, and you guys tell me what you think, but I said the reason I put Trump on equal footing with the great presidents like Lincoln and FDR is because think of a person like Lincoln. Hi, DJab D14. Think of a person like Lincoln. Lincoln went against the powers that be at that time when they were pushing for uh, a different pathway for America to go. They were pushing for America to go this way, which was a dangerous path, a path that wouldn't have seen much success, and so on and so forth. He decided to go the opposite way, and he did it risking his life at the same time. He risked his life, he risked everything to do so. Then I see Trump. In modern times, we don't feel like it's that grand because we're living it. But if we were 50 years in the future or 100 years in the future, if we look back at what Trump is doing today, we would be like, wow, that guy was amazing. But because we're living it, a lot of people don't see how great it is because obviously. So anyway, the reason I said I put Trump up there is because he has risked it all to go against the powers that be, and he doesn't have to. He wasn't born in politics. He could do anything else he wants to do, but yet he's there and he's doing this when he doesn't have to. So for that reason. And also another reason is because he's not gaining anything. You know what I mean? All the other presidents came into the presidency and left richer. They left more famous. They left bigger and better. Trump is the only president thus far that has lost from being in the presidency. And yet he still does it again. He's still not leaving. There's something to be said about that. Now, I know Trump isn't perfect. I know, I get it. I know for anybody who's saying like, okay, you can stop sucking Trump off now. That's not the case. I'm just being objective here. Objectively, that is something that he does not have to do, and he's lost and he's losing. So, oh, Blindy, you're here. Good. Welcome over, and you can go ahead and take the naughty corner. Yeah, because see, you take that. Go look at the wall. Because you think that you can just say whatever you want on these YouTube streets, and I don't see what you're talking about. No. Go. How's that naughty corner feeling? Go look at the wall. Because if I see any of you out in these streets and you guys think that I won't get you back, or you guys think I won't remember when I see you again, you got something else coming for you. You got something else coming for you. Because I remember. And look at the wall. Okay, so that was the thing. Oh, next, I have some news to share with you all. Ultra, listen, people think that they can talk about me on other channels, talk trash, talk about my best friend Rachel on other channels, People think that they can do that, and I don't see it. Or they think I won't do nothing about it. As soon as you come over here, I got you. I got you. You're not getting away. That's not how I play this game. That's not how this works. Okay? I forget who was the other person who did that too. And I used to always get on his case. His name starts with a B, but I forget. But when I see him, I know who he is. But I just can't think of the name fully right now. Okay, so let's begin. I have a news list for you, given to us by the one and only, the great and forever loved, the just the wonderful Jesus Christ. Because if you guys thought I was going to say Larry, that's not the case. Because Larry is not loved. He's not beloved. He is my slave. Not because he's black. That's not why. I'm just saying that if you guys thought that I was saying the beloved and ever cherished and the great and wonderful, I'm not saying that's Larry, because if I say that about Larry, it's going to go to his head. It's going to go to his head. So don't. He's not here. He's not here right now, so he won't know that this happened. All right, so let's move on. Poor Larry. Leave it. You guys, look. You guys feel bad for him. Indentured servant, my arse. He's a slave. You guys, you don't feel bad for him. Don't feel bad for him. Because, is that Maleficent? Maleficent! How are you? Hi, girl. Hey. Nice to see you again. Oh my gosh. Hi. Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Whoa. Suka, if you clip that, I will haunt you in your dreams. I will come for your peace. I will listen. Suka, I will dismember you in front of your family. Slowly, I will dismember you in front of your family. Suka, if you clip that Kumbaya song, okay, go ahead, play with me, Suka. Play with me. All right, so I have the news for you guys. Guys, I am so happy. I am so happy. Okay, I am so happy. Okay, I know this came out of nowhere. I just had a burst of happiness. You want to know why? because I'm on crack. No, I'm joking. I just had a burst of happiness because Trump is back in office, guys. He's back in office. All right. All right. And I just saw a video of Joe Biden leaving the White House. And as he was leaving the White House, if you guys didn't see, he was grasping the walls of the White House because he couldn't find his balance. He was like, and you know, it's just so good. It's just so good to have a president again. It just feels so good to have a president again. Tell me you guys don't feel it. I feel it so. And things have already started to change. I mean, just think he's only been in there for like, what, 72 hours or so. He has, oh my God, he's changed so much already. I know. Oh, am I wrong? 72 hours? Wow. He's been in since what? Monday? Okay, it's been a little bit longer, but still, wow. He's changed so much in a little bit of time that he's already been here. Oh, did you guys also see that Trump has reopened and declassified the murders of Dr. Martin Luther King and the other president who was assassinated? I forget who it was. Kennedy, and somebody else. He has already signed orders to have those details declassified and have those files reopened. And I think he did that because he was also almost assassinated. That's why I think he did that, because he knows now how it feels to. Is that who it is? Blandy? Bobby Kennedy? Okay, so yeah, I'm so happy. I saw him doing that today. He was signing it, so I just had to mention it to you. The deep state is in deep cheat. Does anybody else suddenly want a bagel with cream cheese? Are you calling me fat? Like, I don't care if I'm fat. I don't care anymore. I've given up. I don't care. I really don't. All right, here we go. I'm going to pull this up. Illegal aliens. There have been ICE immigration trucks driving all around this beautiful nation in the last week. Okay. There has been an uptick or an increase, a huge increase in ICE trucks. I saw one myself in an affluent neighborhood. I saw an immigration and customs enforcement vehicle. And you know, I was proud to see it. And you know who texted me about that? Rachel. Here it is. Wait, I can show you guys our text. It was so funny. She's like, hold on, wait. Hold on. I'm pulling it up now. Watch, because you guys got to see this. You guys have got to see this. Here we go. Rachel. Here it is. Okay, Rachel. All right. Okay. So hold on. I can't see if you guys can see. All right, here we go. I'm not gonna let you guys see her number, but here it is. So I'm going down. Okay. So I said something about ICE. I thought she was talking about ICE, and she said, girl, immigration enforcement. And I said, even better. Laws should be enforced. So she texted me that, and she said, girl, did you see that truck driving down the street? You know, because we were in the same neighborhood. So she saw it too. And she said, girl, this neighborhood is affluent. Why are these trucks driving down these streets? And I said, laws should be enforced, affluent or not. If you're here illegally and you've committed crimes, you need to go. I don't care what neighborhood it is. What? So let me get this straight. We're only going to get the illegals that live in low-class neighborhoods. We're only going to get the ones that live in the hood. No, get them all and get them out. All of them. All. I don't care where you are. Yeah. So, that's what happened. Okay, let me pull up. What should I do? No, they're hunting the African queen, Rachel. Okay, here we go. Now we're talking about immigration. Let's do it. Potential illegal aliens are crying after the Trump administration cancels Joe Biden's illegal immigration app. So, Joe Biden had created an app for illegal aliens. Okay, so potential illegal invaders are crying or have cried after the Trump administration canceled all immigration appointments scheduled through Biden's now defunct CBP1 app. His app was called CBP1, which hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens have used to invade this great nation. The app now has a message telling illegals that all scheduled interview dates are canceled. Oh. And many angry illegals shared their frustration with the press, of all people. MSNBC, ABC, CNN, everybody, they're out there crying and weeping to these people. Let me ask you guys a question before I continue this story. If you went to another nation and you committed crimes in their nation, would you feel comfortable talking to, I don't know, official people of that nation? Would you feel comfortable talking to possibly government connected people? Or would you be running from everybody that looks like they could be possibly connected to immigration, the government, law enforcement? The illegals in this nation are so comfortable that they think that they have a freaking HR department that's dedicated to them. What so you think you have a complaint department that's all for you guys? All right, you know what? All right. I'll just get back to the article. So the app now has a message telling illegals that all scheduled interviews are canceled. And we all know that they're crying to the press, some of whom revealed that after waiting for 11 months, their appointments were the next day. And in a woman's case, 1 hour before the app closed, and it was all canceled. And they had been waiting for 11 months. But in addition to closing this app and the border, President Trump announced his intent to use the Alien Enemies Act of 1976, which was used by Democrat President. We have to say some respect on this man's name, Franklin D. Roosevelt. He used that himself as a Democrat to round up Japanese Americans and put them in what's it called? Internment camps. Okay? This is something that was used by Democrats before to round up illegal invaders and to get them into camps and get them into places where we wanted them to be. But now President Trump is now using that same act of 1976, the Alien Enemies Act. It's a beautiful thing. So President Trump stated that he will be using this act to round them all up, get all of the violent illegal immigrant gangs out like Tren de Aragua and MS-13. Get them the F out of here, good riddance, and so on. If you guys don't know, there have been speakers on the border, like loudspeakers, there are loudspeakers on the border now saying in English and Spanish, return to where you've come from, the border is closed. Return to where you've come from, the border is closed. Regresen de donde vienen, el border está cerrado. I know border is not really a word, but whatever. So, the border is literally closed. TikTok has been open just for a few more days. They have a little bit of an extension, but they are also gone too. Trump is not playing around. And like, God, it feels so good to have an actual man back in the White House. But Trump is not playing around. Day one, this man has come in shutting it all down. I love him. I love him. I love him. I love him so much. And it feels so good to be under his reign. Like I feel safe again. I feel safe in my country again because I know that if something happens tomorrow, we have a competent president. We have a president that will put us first and who only cares about us. Who's not worried about, oh, I want to make sure China feels good or we got to make sure the NATO. No, we don't. No, we don't. We need to feel good. So I'm very happy. I'm so happy. And I just need to share that with you guys. But anyway, let's move on back to another story. Here we go. Another story. A progressive prosecutor is facing an uphill battle with his attempt to charge the pardoned January 6th defendants. So, as we all know, before Joe Biden left office, he pardoned, it was like Joe Biden who pardoned all of the January 6th, the people who were trying to convict them, all the people who were in it, Joe Biden pardoned them. But anyway, Soros-backed Philly DA Larry Krasner announced earlier this week that he is exploring the possibility of prosecuting the January 6th defendants that were pardoned by President Trump, which is a promise that he made during his campaign. So just as Biden pardoned a lot of the, what's it called? Guys, help me out with this word. There were people who were trying to prosecute or persecute Trump, right? Regarding the January 6th thing. Joe Biden pardoned those people for trying to persecute President Trump. President Trump had pardoned some of the January 6th defendants. And now there's DAs and judges trying to go after those people again after they've already been pardoned. They are trying to go above that pardon and still, okay, so I'll give it to you. All right. So President Trump made a promise during his campaign, similarly to what the New York DA, Letitia James, did. Krasner's reasoning behind his planned attack is, and I quote, "You can have a state prosecution for conduct that was not fully encompassed in the federal prosecution. So instead of going federal, they're going to try to prosecute these people through the state courts instead of federal. So they're trying to find a way to use a different court to prosecute these people." So I think you know what I'm thinking, guys? They're thinking if we can't get Trump, we can't get President Trump. So what we're going to do is we're going to go after the people of January 6th. Even though they already been pardoned, we're still going to go after them. These people are out for blood. You know what? I can't stand these people. I just really can't, because I'm like, why don't you get with the program of what's going on right now, moving America forward, instead of sitting there still thinking about January the 6th? It's like the January the 6th is like, you know why? You know why it's such a big deal for them? I know this now. The reason why January the 6th was so big for them was because it was one of the first times that they actually got scared. You know what I mean? Where I guess they got scared of not having control. Another reason I think that they are so big on this is because they don't have any other instances where conservative groups have been violent. You don't. What other instance can you use? We have so many instances of Democratic groups being violent. BLM, Antifa, all of their groups are always violent. But how many instances do they have of right-wing groups actually being violent? They don't. They have, what is that, Charlottesville, which was stupid. That they weren't even, they made it into something that it wasn't. And then you have January the 6th. And it's also been known that many of the people in the January the 6th, they were peaceful. They were walking through the Capitol, looking around like, oh, they were let in. A lot of them were let in, but they're still using this as some type of a, you know, oh, it's worse than 9/11. I can't believe that they said that absolute bull crap. They said that January the 6th was something that was worse than 3,000 Americans losing their lives and American security being breached. Are they saying that, somebody has said that? Do you guys know the absolute disrespect to the people who have, not even that, the firefighters that are dying today because of what happened that day? All the asbestos that they breathed in when they were trying to save people. Firefighters are dying today of cancer because they saved people. And these mama huevos are going to sit there and say that January the 6th is comparable to 9/11? Aaron, yes, they are disgusting. They very much are. Very much are. All right, here we go. So Krasner, back to the story that I'm telling you guys about. So Krasner, who is the Philadelphia district attorney who's trying to prosecute the pardoned people, he told reporters that his office is reviewing the charges to find any offenses that have been not covered by Trump's pardon. But his plan to prosecute is facing an uphill battle. And the reason is that, oh, well, when states attempted to charge Trump's allies during his first administration, judges rejected those prosecutions because of the double jeopardy clause in the Constitution. And many of those who were pardoned already had served several jail terms. You cannot, under double jeopardy, you cannot convict anyone twice of the same crime or of the same instance of the same crime. Because yes, you can do the same crime, but like you can murder someone once and then murder another person again, and yeah, it's still the same crime, but it's different, different facts. But yeah, you guys understand what I'm saying. You can't be convicted for the same thing twice. All right, I want to move on. In case you guys didn't know, Anthony Fauci himself, the devil's doctor himself, he has been revoked by Trump. Trump has revoked his security detail. I found this so hilarious. But President Trump canceled Anthony Fauci's taxpayer-funded security detail earlier this week, which many Americans were unaware that he even had. Most of us didn't even know that this guy needed protection. Like, what, Secret Service? What does he need? But why would a doctor, let me ask you guys this, why would a doctor who is supposedly behind on America's side and who is helping America, why would a doctor need security detail? Could it be that he was doing things that could warrant him getting a little bit of stabby stab? Is that what happened? But anyway, after pulling his security detail, the President Trump, was asked why he did it and would he feel responsible if anything happened to Fauci. And President Trump reasoned that Fauci made a lot of money and he can afford to hire his own security if he feels threatened. There is no need for the American public to have to pay for his security detail. As for feeling responsible for Fauci's safety, and no one who works for the government should have a security detail forever, except presidents. I would say except presidents, but other than that, you don't need it forever. But then the president replied that he would not feel responsible for anything if anything happened to Fauci, because if Fauci wants security, he has the money to pay for it on his own. Are you guys feeling good? Are you guys feeling good about your president? Are you guys loving your president? I sure am. I sure am. How you doing? How you doing? Hi there, Weston. Exactly, Yakub, the doctor from hell. He's not even a real doctor. Not even a real doctor, but oh my gosh, don't even get me started on this guy. Let's move on. So, there is a mayor in Denver who is threatening to sue the Trump administration over all of the immigration raids that are going on. Because you guys know how we call immigration ICE? You guys know? Well, we have had ice rain this whole week. We have had ice storms everywhere around this country. And I don't mean just the weather. I don't mean just the weather. As ICE agents conduct their raids around this great nation, Denver Mayor Mike Johnson could not resist making himself look like an absolute clown again in the press. He said, and I quote, "If President Trump instructs ICE to begin going into sensitive locations, Denver is prepared to take on the administration to court and do everything within our legal authority to keep them safe." Keep who safe? Keep who safe? Who are you talking about? You're talking about the illegal aliens safe? You want to keep them safe, not the Americans that actually pay your salary. No, you want to keep them safe? Huh. Well, these sensitive areas that he's talking about are hospitals, churches, and schools, which the mayor claims that ICE activities would cause devastating impacts on the entire community. No, 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 you don't. Oh, no, you don't. You know what's been causing a devastating impact on our entire community? People like yourself. People like yourself who make America worse. Devastating impact on the community, as if our communities aren't already affected from having to house illegal aliens, feed illegal aliens, shelter them from supposed danger, which there is none. They're running from countries. They are running from countries because they don't want to be in their countries. They're not running from Hitler. They're not running from gas chambers, and they're running because they have been told that they can come to America and live free off of American taxpayer money, which they have been doing so. Why in the world would anybody say no to that? Oh, did you know you could go to America, right? You know, when you go to America, you can live free off the government, right? Did you know that they will house you, feed you, put your kid through college and school? You get sick, they'll pay for your hospital bills. Why would anyone say no to that? Especially coming from a hellhole. If you come from a hellhole, of course you're going to say yes to that. Well, anyway, despite all of the threats by Mike Johnson talking about how he's going to go against the Trump administration and take him to court, blah, blah, blah. Despite all of that, Johnson is just blowing up smoke where the law is concerned. On Tuesday, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security rescinded a decades-old policy that identifies schools, child care centers, and other areas as sensitive locations, so immigration authorities are free to acquire illegal aliens in those areas. They can do that if they need to. This is not a game. It's not. Do you guys know the game where you're playing? Oh, what is it called? It, like tag or it. When you're it, you run after people, right? The people are running, and we used to have a game where if you made it to the top of the stairs, you were safe. You were safe. You get, oh, I got to the stairs. I'm safe. They are trying to say that America is like that when it comes to illegal aliens. That, oh, ICE is chasing after them. They're chasing, and the illegal alien is running. And all he does is get to a school or a hospital, and he goes, I'm safe. You can't touch me. kind of game of cat and mouse do they think this is? When we get the mouse, it's chitty chitty bang bang. There is no, oh, you're safe. Oh, you touched the hospital, you're safe. You can't get to a church and yell sanctuary. What kind of games do they think we're playing? They think this is a freaking joke. Sanctuary. Anyway, I know I'm getting a little angry. I'm sorry. I'm bringing it back. I'm bringing it back. Anyway, so on top of all of this sensitive locations and, ICE being free to get aliens in those areas, on top of all of that, the federal government has jurisdiction over the enforcement of immigration laws. Period. Punto. The end. Finito. End of story. You all may exit the theater. The state does not have to assist the federales. They do not have to assist the federals. But state authorities and officials can be arrested for interfering. You can get arrested for interfering. So if you step in the middle of ICE doing their job and say, no, you can't touch this person because they're in a hospital. Oh, well, diddly dong dang. Well, looks like we're just going to have to arrest you too. Turn around and put your hands behind your back. Because what you will not do is interfere. These people, I wonder, what do they get? What do they get from protecting illegal aliens? What do they get? I don't understand the motivation behind it. I really don't. What do they get? Do they get a treat at the end of the day? Do they get a certificate, an award? I don't know, a trinket, anything. These people are defending these illegal aliens with their whole entire life. What are they getting? What do you mean, Ultra Gamma? They lost. What free votes? Free voters. Listen, I understand when it's election year and it's right before the election, but Ultra Gamma, it's over. They've lost. I just don't understand. And Mike Johnson is one of the few politicians that is still trying to protect these people. Because if you've noticed, a lot of the Democrats who are all about, oh, we got to protect, a lot of them have been hush-hush recently. Why? Because they're no longer needed as much as they were before. But Mike Johnson is still, I guess he didn't get the memo. Can you imagine all the other Democrats emailing him at the end of the day like, hey, bro, did you not get the memo? Trump won. We lost. We don't need them anymore. You can let them go. You're looking kind of silly. Did he not get that email? Because I got it. Hi, hustler and muscular. I can't say your name. All right. I want to move on to a different story. I want to move to a different story altogether. All right. It's a different story, but around the same topic. Okay. So there have been Haitian illegal invaders that have been getting caught by ICE. Okay. And recently, one was getting arrested by ICE, by Immigration Services. As he was getting arrested, the funniest quote came out of his mouth. Well, kind of funny and kind of diabolic, but here it is. Now, just imagine I'm Haitian, okay? I'm Haitian. Yeah, I'm getting arrested, and I'm going to give you the actual quote. Here we go. Word for word. Hey, no, I'm not going back to Haiti, bro. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself. F Trump. Biden forever. Joe Biden forever. That was the actual thing that happened. This person was getting arrested, and he started yelling and freaking out, saying that he's not going back to Haiti. He'll kill himself first. F Trump. Biden forever. Congratulations, Joe Biden. That is your legacy. Joe Biden, are you happy? Oh, I can't even ask him. Do you guys know? Joe Biden he's the happiest man ever. He can finally kick up and be retired like a proper old man and not feel bad about it. But anyway, Joe Biden and Harris, that is your legacy. You know what? When Kamala Harris tries to run for president again in the future, we should play that clip. That clip of him saying, F Trump, I'm not going back to Haiti. I'll die first. F Trump, Biden forever. Play that clip. Whenever this wench wants to try to run for president again, that's what we need to play. Because that is your legacy. That illegal aliens love you. But you are not the president of illegal aliens. You are the president of the United States citizens. You're supposed to be the commander in chief of us, not them. But yeah, that's your legacy. That's your legacy. Samael says he doesn't want to go back because they'll eat it. That got really morbid and deep. Samael, you just have to go there. You just had to, right? Right. We were having a nice conversation and you just had to go there. Because we didn't need to think about cannibalism. We didn't need to think about what's happened. But you just I know it's true. All right, I'm moving on to another story. Anyway, okay. Other illegal aliens were scooped up in the raids that liberated a neighborhood from criminal Haitian illegals. Other dangerous aliens were found in sanctuary cities. Can you believe that we have a stupid thing called sanctuary cities in the United States of frickin' America? But anyway, there have been dangerous aliens found in sanctuary cities, and they have also been arrested along with the non-violent illegals that were scooped up as collateral damage. While Democrats and their media decried to the immigration burst, American citizens could be heard thanking, praising, and applauding the ICE agents for getting the dangerous illegals off their streets. I know that might hurt your guys' ears. I know from the speakers. I'm sorry. But man, oh man. You know what? This shouldn't be a rare thing. This should not be a rare thing. This shouldn't be something that, well, we finally have some, law enforcement. This should not be a rare thing. But it is. It is. And that's unfortunate. And these are people on our streets that we pay for, I'm done. Anyway, the immigration raids resulted in the capture of not just gangbangers like the Haitians that are on their way back home, but by Thursday, 538 illegal invaders were found and arrested, including pedophiles, or as you, the pride, call them, wood chipper people. So they weren't the only ones arrested. 538 illegal invaders have been found and arrested, including pedophiles and known or suspected terrorists. One in particular named Gökhan Adriguzil, who is a Turkish national in New York. In addition, 2 Chinese illegal aliens were busted and detained for wire fraud. All of these people that I previously just mentioned, they're all out of this country. They're gone. They're about to be deported right now. And when I say that they're gone, I mean that they are in ICE facilities, which are no longer considered American territory. You're out of here. By the time you're in an ICE facility, you might as well consider yourself out of here. You're not in America anymore. All right, let's move on to a different topic. Let's move on. Hold on. I want to see what you guys are talking about before I move on. That's the internet slang for what? What? Oh, PDF files. Ice baby. Ice baby. Did you know apparently humans smell like bacon? Yeah, I know that. But that's in case you guys don't know. Humans' DNA is most similar with pigs. Reason why a human can survive with the kidney of a pig. If you took a kidney from a pig in a case of an emergency and you needed it to get you through until you got a real human kidney, you would survive with that pig's kidney. All right. So, yes, I know that humans smell like pig when they're cooked. Google has cut out Biden out of our history. Now, I don't know about this story, but I'm going to tell it to you now. After Joe Biden gave America his final insult by pardoning his family members, among others, Google has returned the favor. Google users have discovered a glaring discrepancy when they search for a list of all the United States presidents. The list went from George Washington all the way to Obama and both of Trump's terms in office. So you can't say, oh, they just stopped at Obama. No, they put both of Trump's presidencies in, including the one just now. They are both in, but Biden is missing from that. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you guys a question. Has it ever been possible for us to completely erase the history of a presidential term? Is it possible? Because you know what? I think it's not. Because if it were possible, they would have erased it. They would have erased President Carter, wouldn't they have? But now, oh, by the way, rest in peace, President Carter. You know one thing about President Carter? He had to live to see Biden get elected out. Because one thing about President Carter, I'm sure he was thinking to himself, at least finally, there is one president that they're going to say was worse than me. I am no longer the worst president in American history. And I think he just had to live to see Joe Biden be voted out before he could die in peace. Rest in peace. But yes, moving on. Google has taken Joe Biden out of the list of presidents. And Biden's omission has upset several of his fans who expressed their displeasure with comments like, WTF is up with that SHIT. I know the orange megalomaniac that you want to appease wants you to erase him, but you're all losing your credibility here. Another hater said, you would think that since Google sent an employee to celebrate the inauguration, that they would be able to get this one right. But a Google spokesperson blamed the omission on a brief data error in their knowledge graph. And the root cause was identified and resolved. But let's be real. They wanted to see if they could get away with it. I think they just wanted to see if they could get away with it. Hi, Primal One. How are you? Hi there. Here's Fionn says he remembers when Jimmy Carter was elected. How far back was that? I know I don't want to sound ignorant, but how far back was that? I know I was nowhere near being born, but yeah. Legos are important. 1976, really? That's not that bad. I mean, 1976 isn't that bad. It doesn't sound that far away. I don't know why I was expecting like 1940 something. Sorry. I was expecting 1940s because I thought President Carter was 100 years old. So that's why I was like, yeah, but obviously he didn't get the presidency when he was born. So I know. I'm slow. Leave me alone. Okay. Hold on one second. I want I want to do this. 1 second. I'm pulling up something. 1 second, guys. Hold on. Ooh. Okay. I have something else for you guys. I have another thing. Oh my God. We have LGBTQIA plus pedos plus everything sick news as well. Oh. Okay. If you guys don't know, Trump has brought back religion to the White House. He's brought back God. And in his speech, in his inauguration, celebrating his ceremony, he mentioned God. And he said, our God. And a lot of people kind of saw that as, what do you mean by our God? And I think what he meant to say was the actual God, not the Satanist God that these rainbow people pray to. Not that. We actually have God, the normal God. And he said that God is the reason why he's still alive. But anyway, Washington, D.C. Woke. Don't, guys, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but hear me out. Episcopal. Okay, so there's a DC woke Episcopal bishop named Marianne. What?
Episcopal.
Say it again.
Episcopal. Yes.
What does that mean?
I think it has something to do with the epistles or something like that from like back in the day with the disciples of Christ roaming around doing their thing, converting people.
So they're like
it's sort of an offshoot of the Church of England, I think.
But they're like recruiters.
Sort of, yeah. It's I don't know. You'd probably have to ask them. When I was a kid, I always thought it had something to do with fish, but it doesn't apparently. So
okay then. All right, Episcopal. Okay, Episcopal, right. So Washington, D.C. Episcopal Bishop Marianne Edgar Bude has drew the ire of President Trump for her actions at the National Prayer Service, where she begged President Trump to have mercy for transgender children. Oh, how dare she? How absolute dare she? Oh, okay. I'm going to have an aneurysm. I feel it coming. I do. I cannot believe she said that. Oh my God. I want to beat something. Okay. This woke bishop named Marian, her name is Marian. Is a bishop something like a pastor? Because if it is, why she's out of line just by being a bishop? She's out of line. But she has pissed off President Trump because she begged President Trump to have mercy for transgender children and illegal immigrants. This woman, this bishop, used children of migrant families in her political speech, saying that children, quote unquote, fear that their parents will be taken away. They fear that their parents will be taken away. Well, you know what? Here's a good time to learn, children, because childhood is all about learning now, isn't it? You're going to learn that one day you're going to learn that parents are adults, and adults have decisions to make. And sometimes when your parents make bad decisions, consequences arise. Consequences happen. Just like if you as a child do something bad, punishment comes. That's the same thing in adulthood. Do something bad, punishment comes. And that should be what is taught to children. That should be what is taught. Not, oh, no, we shouldn't punish the parents because, oh, the children are scared. Shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up. This person also made remarks about gay, lesbian, and transgender children who fear for their lives. In her speech, she said, and I quote, "In the name of I'm not going to say God because I will be damned if I say God and she repeats something that is totally against God after this. So you guys just fill in the blank. In the name of, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families, some who fear for their lives, and the people who pick our crops, clean our office buildings, labor in poultry farms and meat packing plants, who wash the dishes after we eat at restaurants and work the night shifts at hospitals, or they may or may not be citizens or have proper documentation, but the vast majority of immigrants are not criminals." Who's going to tell her? Who's going to tell her? The vast majority of immigrants are not criminals. I hate to tell you, but being an illegal immigrant is a crime in itself. So to say that they're not criminals is kind of a, are you sure? Are you sure? Because being an illegal immigrant is a crime in itself. But anyway, after her controversial speech, she told CNN that she was speaking directly at President Trump, and the service was a one-on-one conversation with the president in her eyes. She also admitted to the news outlet that she deliberately used the event to spew a political message to President Trump, who had plenty to say about the bishop's actions. Trump responded this way Trump went like this. He said, and I quote, "The so-called bishop who spoke at the national prayer service on Tuesday morning was a radical left hardline Trump hater. She brought her church into the world of politics in a very ungracious way. She was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart." Trump always says that people aren't smart. I don't just is such a simple thing to say, but it really does cut deep. But anyway, he said that she was nasty in tone and not compelling or smart. She failed to mention the large number of illegal immigrants that came to our country and killed people. Many were deposited from jails and mental institutions from their countries. It is a giant crime wave that is taking place in the United States. Apart from her inappropriate statements, the service was a long, boring, and uninspiring one. She's not very good at her job. She and her church owe the public an apology. And I love Trump. And the church shall say, amen, amen, amen. Because what Trump said, it sounded a lot more biblical than what that wench said, talking about transgender children and how we need to all pray. And then maybe this is just maybe this is, when you pray or when you address God, you do not speak that way when you are addressing God, talking about sexual deviancy. You do not speak to God about sexual oh my God, it just pisses me off. Who addresses God that way? You're praying, and you're talking about, well, and homosexuals, those people that butt fuck. Yeah, those people. Yeah, can we all pardon them? Yeah, I know it's in the book that we shouldn't do it, but they have feelings too. Shut up. Are you This is why women should not lead churches. This is why women should not lead churches. Now, as for the female bishop, she responded. She went down to CNN. And she responded this way. She said, I was looking at the president because I was speaking to him. I was speaking to the president because I felt that he has this moment now where he feels charged and empowered to do what he feels called to do. And I wanted to say, there's room for mercy. I wanted to counter as gently as I could with a reminder of the illegal immigrants' humanity and their place in our wider community. You know what? You know what? You go with them. Go with them to their community and see how good you feel then. Why don't you go with them? Because apparently they're your real family, not us as Americans. But anyway, several Christian church leaders have also chimed in on this female bishop's political takeover of the national prayer service. They have been coming at her and blasting her like straight out, like, guys, AK-47s loaded and just at her, right? They are talking about the Bible, biblical truth, common sense, and just right and wrong. One pastor told a news outlet that he can't argue with how Trump responded. He even feels more connected with how Trump responded than the bishop. And he saw, wait, I was there and I agree, said the pastor in California. And he was talking about her substituting the orthodox teaching of Christianity for an emphasis of sexual preference and why the American people have left these churches. You guys know some things don't belong together. Some things do not belong together. Butt fucking and carpet munching do not belong in church. They don't need to be spoken about in church. They don't need to be thought about in church. They don't even need to be considered in church. They definitely should not be leaders of church, and they also shouldn't be married in the church. There's certain things that just don't belong together. Same as oil and water. Same as oil and water. I know, Samael, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I think I have a right to say this today. I think I have a right. Some things don't belong together. And when you are talking about being godly and following the Bible, and then you talk about carpet munching, and then not only that, then she also had the nerve to say that children are transgender. Children are transgender. No. Children don't fully know what they are. And it's up to the parents to teach children what they are because parents know. And that is how it should be. But people are sitting here thinking, oh, well, children know what they are when they're born. You're stupid. Are you stupid? All right, I'm going to go back to because I noticed that when I talk freely, I end up getting in trouble. When I stay on the script, I'm good. I'm going back to the script. Trump demanding that God remain as a foundation of America should have received nonpartisan praise from all of our nation's clergy. But ironically, the bishop used the pulpit and the service to not only lecture the president, but to promote a secular worldview of her woke ideology of, I won't say it again. I'll just call it rainbows and chocolate holes. So she wants to promote her woke ideology of rainbows and chocolate holes and saying that unity can, well, I'm not going to say that either. But the church says that unity can only be achieved through a commitment to biblical truth, not cultural assimilation. Her sermon was indicative of the heresy being taught by mainline dominations. Our nation was founded upon the truth that there is a God, and he alone defines what is good and what is evil. And also another thing I'm going to add on to that is that America was one of the first nations to recognize that God and only God is the one who defines good and evil, and also that God is the one who gives people rights. That nations do not give people rights, governments do not, kings or queens do not. Only God has given you rights. And that's why America was the first nation to give people their God-given rights. God-given rights. And we all know what they are. But one of them was the pursuit of happiness, freedom of speech. These are God-given. These are not given by your nation, your government, your king, or your queen. But anyway, this female bishop, she continues to dabble into politics, using her pulpit to do so. And now she's blasted Trump, holding a Bible outside of St. John's Episcopal Church after the police cleared up a protest at the Capitol. She was holding a Bible outside of that church, I guess cursing Trump. And we all know how credible people look when they're yelling outside incoherently, holding a Bible, and speaking about faggots. We all know that really works out good. That gets a real audience to really believe in whatever cause you're trying to promote. But anyway, she told the reporter, oh, sorry, I missed the sentence, sorry. During an interview with CNN, she was asked if she would speak with President Trump after what has just transpired between the two of them. And she told the reporter that she would. But the president would have to reach out to her for that to happen, that she wouldn't be the one to reach out to him first. Well, wench, I'm here to tell you, you're going to be waiting a darn long time for that, because Trump is rather busy right now saving America. I don't think he has time anymore to talk with the likes of you. So, oh well, too bad for that. So sad. But let's move on. The title of this stream is for us to role play. I'm going to open up the I keep on saying I'm going to open up the phone lines. I'm going to open up the panel, and whoever wants to come one, come all. We can do a role play session, but you need to have good internet and good light. Hold on. Yeah, there it is. You need to have good internet, good light. I'm not going to sit there and try to look at you guys through dark, dim lights. And you need to have good internet. Try to have good internet. Episcopal is not a hard word. Well, for me. Well, good for you, Lippo. Good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm happy. I really am. But see, people like me, Lippo, I'm not, English is not my first language. And maybe that word, I've gone to school, university. I've done it all in school, and I've never heard that word. I haven't heard that word before, or I probably have heard it, but I just never had to use it. So I'm sorry I don't know the word, okay? I'm sorry. Yakub says she's the reason why churches are failing. Huh? No, Yakub. She's not the reason. You know why? She shouldn't be in the position that she's in the first place. Whoever ordained her as bishop is the reason why churches are failing. Not her. She is just a symptom of what is going on. She is not the actual problem. The problem is whoever ordained her as a bishop. Crazy. Okay. Oh, Lippo says the name comes from French. Is that so? I didn't know. Well, that's why it's easy for you, because you speak French. Well, we have a contester. Hello, Olive.
Hey, it's up.
Hey, what's your name on the chat so I can know who you are?
Oh, Ultra Gamma.
You're Ultra Gamma?
Yeah.
Hi, Ultra Gamma. I know, I'm so happy to say you're not that happy, but whatever. You know what? I'm still happy. I'm still happy because I never knew what you look like. Or did I? Have you come before?
Yeah, I've come on before. Just
It's been a long
time.
Well, welcome back. All right. So, are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Here's the scenario. You're at a strip club, right? And so, I'm just kidding. Here's the scenario. All right. The scenario is this. Me and you are going to speak. I am going to be, who can I be? I will be your doctor. I'll be your doctor. Okay. You are my patient. You are a patient that is transitioning from female to male. You're turning into a man. You are wanting to remove your sexual organs, and you're really young. You're like 17. This is you, okay? And I am a conservative doctor, and I'm the one who's going to tell you this is not going to be possible, and I'm going to deny you. What you have to do is convince me the reasons why this is something that is proper, and this is something that you have full control mentally over what you're doing. You're 17, 18. And so you have to tell me, I'm going to give an example just really quickly because this is the first time we're doing this. So I want to have it flow easy. I am in control of my own decision. I have thought about this. I am fully ready to do this. I don't want children in the future. I have already decided. I've talked with everybody. I've been in transition for 2-3 years, or since you're like 14, and so on and so forth. Do you want to do that one? Or would you rather a different one? Tell me if you're uncomfortable with that one.
I guess I'd rather a different one, but I will say I do know, like I've met people like that, and for me personally, like it hurts me because I know I can't save them. I can't do anything to stop them. Uh, so
But if
I
you
don't know.
argue, but if you argue as them, maybe you can begin to understand how they feel.
I suppose, but my ethics and morals are so strong that I can't really empathize with their point of view. Like I can get it that maybe they want to neuter themselves because they're doing that they want to neuter themselves, but then at the same time, it's like in the future, what if your mind changes? Now you
But no, no,
can't
no,
go
no,
back.
no. Don't,
Oh,
don't, don't give reasons, because that's part of the dialogue. We're supposed to be
got you.
having actual dialogue, but
Right.
you said you're uncomfortable doing it. So, but I think you're probably one of the best candidates for this because you have a friend who's going through this. So you should try it. You should try it. The reason is because you can understand your friend better.
Yeah.
But if you're uncomfortable, I can give you a different one. The next one we can do is, let me see. What's something that you are against completely? Like, are you like me where we're against the religions changing? We're against um, rainbows coming into Christianity and so on. Are you Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
There was
Let's do,
one I was oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead. Tell me.
There was something in the chat I was talking about. I guess this was related to that. So Lilith, there's something I was very curious about your take on it, but I'm against her because it really embodies feminism. So her whole diatribe is just feminism, and I'm like so against that. I've been against that for my whole life. Not against females being empowered. I'm against the whole well, I think you've
She went against God.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And Adam. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
ridiculous at that point. So
Exactly. But I want to do the doctor thing, but you don't want to. So let's do religion then. Can you do religion?
yeah.
All right, let's do religion. Now this has to be something that you actually don't want, that you don't like. So it's going to be uncomfortable, but you have to argue as something that you don't like and that you are firmly against. So it's
Hmm.
going to require you to get out of your box a little bit and not actually think how you normally think. I need you to think like one of them. I need you to think like the person that you're supposed to be portraying. Okay?
Hmm.
Because good reason behind it. Ready?
Hmm.
You are in the youth sector of the church. You've noticed that many of the students coming into the church, you have Bible study. Many of the students coming to Bible study feel uncomfortable because they don't feel welcomed, because a lot of them have sexual orientations that are not accepted by the church. Also, a lot of them have different type of relationships and they want to be married in the church. And I, as your pastor, am not allowing it. I am saying that I'm firmly against it. And the Bible reasons, but you have to go against me and you have to tell me why you believe this should be so and why my ideas are antiquated and they're not right by the Bible.
Hmm. I'm sorry. Is my camera still working?
Nope,
No, it
nope.
was me.
That's yeah, that's her. She froze. Okay, you're back.
Oh,
Yeah, it's I'm sorry if it does that.
oh,
But
it's okay.
okay.
I thought it was me.
All right. So here we go. All right. So you have to do it. Don't be scared. And just, everybody knows, just a disclaimer, everybody. He's not what he's going to act like right now. We all know that he's not. But you are the youth pastor or youth, what is it called? The youth, when you're
Um,
teaching the youth Bible study, you're like the youth counselor, not counselor.
it's
What is
something
it
like that.
called?
It's something
What is
like a
it called,
counselor.
chat? Chat, what is it called? I know, Larry. It was fine in the beginning. God dang it. But listen, mine is different because I'm the host, so leave me alone. But anyway, what is it called, guys? It's called whatever. Okay, here we go. I'm the pastor. All right. Ultra Gamma, listen, I need you to get a little bit stricter on the youth services. I need you to enforce the rules that we will not allow lesbian relationships. We will not allow out of marriage um, sex. We will not encourage that. Okay, because the more that we allow this, I've noticed that we are having a lot of backlash from the elders in this church. Okay, so I need you to make sure that the youth is focusing more on traditions and proper marriages, man and woman.
Hmm. I guess my proposal would be in this case. Uh, well, they love each other, and their parents are okay with it. Their friends are society's okay with it. Uh, so and we also want to be inclusive. Um, so why not? Why not let them do what they want?
Okay, what will inclusion bring a church? We are a mega church. What does inclusion bring to us that we don't have already?
Well, I would say again opposite me here. uh,
Go on. Everybody knows it's opposite you. Go on.
uh, well, it would bring in more money, more funds. We could reach a broader audience. The other side, because the churches are mainly conservative, but we need to include the more liberal crowds and get them involved too. We can't exclude them, right?
I'm going to move to another room. But I heard you. I heard you. It just, yeah, just acted crazy for a second. Hold on. I'm going to move down to the tea room. Hold on. It always does this when it gets hot. My computer is heating. That's why.
You gotta turn that brightness down, dude.
Listen. If it's not the brightness that's making it hot, I don't think.
Well, when you have the brightness up really high, the computer it'll like just get hot normally. Like if your phone's brightness is high, your phone gets really hot. That's just
Oh,
how technology is.
okay. So I heard you. I heard you. And you said that it brings in funds and that inclusion brings yeah, you said funds and more people and so on, right? Did I miss too much?
And then also I was saying that churches are normally conservative, and that having it be more open and inclusive would allow the liberal party to come in, and we get more people, more followers. And then I guess I would say yes, it might go against certain rules and it breaks some rules, but you gotta break more. We gotta break rules to.
Okay. So do you not think, Ultra Gamma, that we can grow without having to change our morals? Do you think that us as a church that we won't be able to succeed with the church, with the same things that we've been preaching for hundreds of years.
Well, guess I would say to that, uh, yes, we are going to totally fail because we're not keeping up with the times. We're falling behind. We're outdated.
You know what? And that's the biggest argument that I've seen is that most of the other side, they always claim that we are outdated, that we are keeping humanity back. And instead of searching for new horizons, that
I'm
we are.
sorry. I'm sorry. I saw Suka's message. That's hilarious.
Can you pay attention?
I am.
Okay, so I've noticed that they always say that we're antiquated and that we are not pushing humanity forward, right? So, I mean, when I hear that, it makes me kind of think a little bit, and not think that I want to change my views, but it makes me think, why does humanity have to be pushed forward in sex? Why does humanity have to be pushed forward in genders? Why is that a topic that needs to be modernized? That is not, it's biology, it's biology, or it's common sense. The only thing that I can see that, I mean, there's so many other horizons that we can focus on, like energy, clean energy, improving nuclear, improving natural gas, improving all the things that we are doing now, instead of focusing on, you know, I I just got into an argument. I just told you guys online, and that's what the lady had told me. She said me the same thing. She said that conservatives don't think big, that we don't think outside of the box. And it does make me wonder, am I, as a conservative, constantly limiting my thoughts? Are we constantly, as conservatives, limiting our thoughts? Or do you think, now this is real you, do you think that certain thoughts don't need to be modernized or changed?
Well, I can actually counter myself on those arguments and go along with what you're saying there. So what I've learned, there's this chart. It's like the Enlightenment chart. It's 1 through 10 or 1 through 12. So most of society kind of peaks at level 4, which is following the rules, and they're like somewhere 4 and below, which is pretty bad. And then you have some of society where they're like higher ups and stuff, or they think they are. They've been in college, so now they're at level 6 or level 5, and they're thinking, how can I reinvent the wheel? And you have stuff like this where they're going, oh well, there's 100 different genders, and let's do this, and like just change and nitpick all these things that are already a foundation. They're trying to change the foundation, and it's not the way. We should be changing what's on top of the foundation, how we anchor to the foundation, all the other stuff, not reformatting everything. They also do is they burn the bridges. So, like you said, focusing on renewing renewable energies like fusion reactors. My favorite one is the Wendelstein X. I'd look into that one; it's really cool. Um, but we should be looking at that kind of stuff, but they don't because they're so focused on other things that they burn those bridges and say, "Oh no, fusion reactors are too dangerous. Fusion's too dangerous. We can't do that." So then we're
Mm.
just suppressing ourselves and focusing on things that don't matter. So,
Somebody said that the smarter we get, the dumber we get. When you get so smart that you're dumb,
hmm yep.
because
And
go ahead,
oh, sorry.
go on.
So and that's true. That's that level 6 mentality, is where you literally get to the point where now you're dumbing yourself down, and so it's like it's a smart person knows that they don't know everything, but
Mm,
someone that thinks they're smart thinks they know everything. The boundary
mm.
between these two is time. So from 6 to 7, I won't say which number I am because people are going to think that I'm joking. But I'd say like at a 9 or 10, but no one's gonna believe that.
We
Anyways,
know, no, we already know that you're high up there. We've seen you for years already. We know that you're up there. That you have very sharp brain. Well, the majority of us know. I don't know about everybody, but the majority of us know.
well, most of y'all here are already up there in enlightenment scale. You guys get it, you guys understand it. So I say I put most of y'all at like 8 or higher. So, anyways, so between 6 and 7, the boundary is time. What happens is the 6 thinks they know everything, but then time tells them that they're wrong. It means like history and stuff. Like you'll open the book and say, okay, oh, this is why this has happened. It's a repeat, you know. And then like 8 is just you get more and more enlightened, and then at some point you become spiritual, and then you start to realize that you're not in control of anything. Someone
Mm.
else, God, is controlling everything, and you are meant to experience and explore what's given to us, to respect and appreciate it. It's all he wants. It's all Jesus wants, but people don't understand that, and so
Did
they
you hear
they teeter.
Gamma, did you hear about the scientist that was, I'm sure you have heard about him, but the scientist that was atheist, completely atheist, and the more and more he started studying, he went into quantum physics and into dark matter and all of that. And the more and more he started getting into those things, he started to realize that there's no way that, because he noticed that all of life and all of the matter inside of it, the atoms, the energy, all of it is a mathematical equation, and there's
Hmm.
no possible way that it could be so perfect
Yes.
by coincidence. There's no possible way. And that when he tried to study the beginning of the universe, when they tried to study the Big Bang, they said even if you use the theory or the model of the Big Bang, it had to come from somewhere, some singularity. And the singularity, well, where did that come from? Because there had to be somebody watching or somebody who started that first spark
Hmm.
that created, if you want to go with the idea of the Big Bang. So there had to be a singularity at one point and somebody who's standing above and watching what happened. Now we don't like to think of this man in the sky, because people always say, oh, so God, what is he? Some man who's sitting on a chair in the sky in the clouds. And it's like, yeah, well, people used to say that God was in the clouds because they didn't know that there was anything further. But it is true that whatever is God is an energy that is controlling everything. It's not really a man in the sky and so on, but there is an energy that is God, and it is
And
above us, above everything.
and for me, the two things, and like you said, that's literally my path, sort of. Like at the age of 18, that's when I realized, about deities and stuff like that, and guardian angels. That's when I started getting more into that. And then as I got older, I started to accept it. But for me, the transition was not, you know, religious transition.
Come
Uh,
back, Chris. Chris, come back. Chris, sorry, he left me a private message. He tried to come in, but but go ahead, Gamma. I'm here. I'm listening to you.
the religious transition was 2 parts. So first was just having those guardian angels or spirits actually talk to me in a way and guide me through things.
Mm.
The second part, well, no, numbers too, like sine waves and the light spectrum. I know, right? You're hilarious, Suka. Uh, uh,
That, you know what? That's a
so,
perfect comment to follow transition. Transition. Punyiti. I
um,
love my pride. They're amazing. Go ahead,
the
Canva.
it was just the numbers and how everything works. So, for instance, zero in real life, zero doesn't exist. It's always point something. Like there's no such thing as zero. And then that's what made me realize it was just like the numbers, how they're graphed, how they're charted. And then Seraphins, I kind of had an experience with them because I actually asked. Like it was a long time ago. I asked to see or to speak to whoever my guardian angel was. Apparently,
Mm.
it was a Seraphim, and that was the um. I want to say, you know how they give you like super nightmares and stuff, and you really shouldn't be looking at them.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was a crazy dream, and I was like,
You're funny.
yeah, I'm good. Never again. Nope. But it let me know that they were there, they were present. So those two events are what pulled me into it.
Well, Carrie had something to say to you. Carrie is in the private chat, and he said that when we finish here, to not close out, that he want to talk to you about something because he's listening to what you're saying, and I think he has some insight on something. He wants to share it with you, so
Okay.
he wants you to stay after class. Um, well, I wanted to still do another role with you, but if you're not comfortable, I won't do it. But I want to find someone who's very comfortable with this and who can fully, I guess you could say, put themselves in another mind or another position and genuinely feel what another person would feel. Because I know it's hard for most people to do it. And yeah, because I know most people can't think outside. They can't think what they don't think. Does that make sense? They
For
can't.
for me, I can my the way my mind works is I can feel it, but at the same time I'm just so against it because I know what comes next. That's kind
Yeah,
of
I
like where
know.
my
I mean,
mindset is.
same here, but when I did it, I was still able to put myself fully, and even if it was just a joke or even if it was just a play, if I was just acting it out, I was still able to dive into that. But it's just like actors. Actors oftentimes play roles that are completely opposite of what they really are in real
Oh,
life. But it's an
okay. I
acting
can do that.
part where no, you failed now, because that's
Oh,
what you were supposed to do the whole time. I said role play, and I gave you your
I didn't
character,
know it
I
was
gave
like
you your age,
acting.
and you were still like, I don't know if, and it's okay. I mean, I get it. It's hard, but the reason I say this is because I don't want us to be people that constantly um, suck our own selves off. If I don't mean to say it like that, I'm sorry, Gamma, but there's no better way to put it. I don't want us to be people who are constantly, I guess you could say, tapping ourselves on the back, where we're always claiming that we are right and we are the masters of the universe and we know the way. And, I want us to be able to think like other people. I want us to know exactly what they feel, but still be able to know, hey, it still isn't right. Even if you feel it, it's not right.
Well, I
Yeah.
can say one thing though when it comes to those really it's all transgender issues. It's all a hormonal imbalance. So, I mean, really, if you're male, take testosterone, and if and if you're female, take progesterone and estrogen. So that kind of fixes the problem. When you're in the middle, you start getting confused. You don't know who you
Mhm.
are, and you start doing weird stuff. It's just
Mm.
hormonal imbalance.
Well, you know what I've noticed also is that a lot of people, oh, you heard that men men's testosterone levels are so low today. Even the
Yep.
young men have testosterone levels of old men from the past because
Hmm.
they're not outside anymore. They're not fighting other men like they used to. They're not out there seeking thrills or using their adrenaline. They're not in war. They don't have a need to use all the adrenaline. So they're just kind of, their testosterone just kind of falls because there's no need. They don't need to go outside and hunt or do anything. So they're just kind of wasted, and which is a shame because men are so powerful. But today's men are half the men of ancient times, of before. And, I think that that has something to do with the transgender things because when the testosterone gets so low, you, I think it's causing confusion.
Yep. They call those, I think it's geldings. Do you know what a gelding is?
No.
It's we call it like a neutered horse almost. So,
Oh,
or really any animal that has lost his testicles, uh, they're just. I won't get into all the weird details, but point being, that's
no,
kind of what's
please
going on
do.
right now.
Please do.
Um,
We love all the weird details, don't we, Pride? If they say no, look, no means yes, Gamma. If they say no, no means yes.
So, when an animal gets neutered, and that's what humans do most time, whether it be bulls or whatever, is to keep them docile and to control them. For
Mm.
instance, Japan, my favorite anecdotal thing, the U.S. is doing it right now. Uh, Mind you, I love Japan, I do, but what we're doing is wrong. We're sending soy and soybeans to them. They're eating it, and they're becoming soy boys and soy girls. Soy girls is fine. The soy boys is not, because when you look at them, you can't tell the difference between a man and a woman there. Same with South Korea. Most of the Asian nations are just like that,
The
and it's
Philippines
because of
and the Thai. That's why they're so
yeah.
easy to be lady boys, because they look
Mhm.
so feminine.
Yep. And it's just all this stuff that they're being fed. It's really, really, really bad for them. And so it makes them weak, docile, and easy to control, which is a woman. Sorry, no offense, but that's what's
I'm not
going on.
offended. I'm not offended. And the problem is that the women aren't weak, docile, and easy to control. The women have turned to be more masculine. And I don't
Yep.
understand the correlation with that. I think because the men are getting weaker, the women have decided that they'll take on the masculine role because
Yes.
somebody needs to do it. So I think that's what's happening. I don't think it's the food
It's
for
just
women,
compensation. That's correct.
the compensation. Because there is a need, there is a void of testosterone and masculinity. But I guess women feel that, if they won't do it, then I will. And it's creating masculine women and feminine men.
hmm
Very
And
sad.
this, you have the transgender issue and the 100 genders and all the other cavalcade of nonsense.
Oh my gosh. Somebody said like Hunter Avalon. Oh my God. And I used to love Hunter Avalon. Now, I don't know if you knew Hunter Avalon when he was a conservative, like way back when. He was awesome. I used to watch his content. He was common sense based, and then he just changed out of nowhere. And then it came out that he was dating this woman. She was a liberal girl, and he started changing to be liberal, I guess, to please her, because she was very much of a feminist mindset, and you couldn't have two penises in a house, so he just chose to take on more of a vagina role. And they had children together, and that was the end of Hunter. Hunter turned into Destiny, I guess. Yeah, right, Baklava. Hunter was amazing. He made awesome content before. That's why I could never believe that he turned to liberal, just like us, Gamma. Me and you were talking as conservatives because we actually believe this. But even when I asked you to fake being a liberal, it's hard, right? For Hunter Avalon, he went from being a strict conservative to like that. And that's when you think it must be a grift. Either his conservatism was a grift or his liberalism is a grift. He doesn't know where he stands.
Well, as far as me, like the past me, I guess before I hit 18, actually was liberal. P- Filipino? Oh, Filipino
Filipino.
soy.
No, I didn't say it was. I didn't say soy was the main diet. I think he
No,
was.
I said that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I didn't say. I think Philippines mostly eat. What's it called? The the roll, egg roll,
Hmm.
lumpia.
But I used to be very liberal back then when I was a teenager in high school. But I guess it was mainly because of my parents. My parents were very
Mm,
liberal, so I was
mm.
just kind of following along with what they did. And then it was realizing, I guess it was getting that first job and seeing the taxes and going, wow, they're taking a lot of my money and sending it off to pay for people that are not working. And that pissed me off. So then that's when I leaned more conservative, because then I guess it was just learning. That's all what took for me.
Once you
Um,
start knowing,
yeah. And for him, it was probably a grift. He probably was never actually conservative, because it's like once you go red, you can never go back. It's not even possible. Uh, so I don't know.
then it must be a grift. Then his liberalism
Yeah.
must be a grift. Because
Mm,
it doesn't make sense. How can like in the Matrix, you take the red pill or the blue pill. You can't take the red pill and then forget that, it ever existed, that the Matrix ever existed.
if
You
if you
can't
don't
live.
have morals, If you don't have morals, you can. Because the blue pill is all about relaxing, not working, being a slob, the seven deadly sins. Going back to religious stuff, it's doing all the opposite stuff because it makes you feel good, not because it is good. So that's probably what he did.
But do you remember in the Matrix movie that one guy who was a traitor, how he was talking to the what did they call it? Smiths or something, whatever. The Anderson Smith. Well, no, Anderson was him. The guys with the, you understand, with the
Yeah.
things. Anyway, he was talking to him and he was eating a steak and he said, "I know this steak isn't real. I know that." He's like, "But if I can enjoy a fake steak, then I'd rather enjoy the fake steak and the Matrix than live in real life and eat slop and gray life every day, because even
Yeah.
though that's the real life, I don't want to live the real life. I'd rather live the dream." So I don't think that is possible to actually live back in the normal, be a normie again after knowing things. You just can't forget things. You can't forget
Mhm.
it. I don't
But
know.
what you just said though was kind of what he did, right? So for us, or at least for me, like, so being a man, right? I can't have like sugar, sweets, and a whole lot of the stuff that females can because it will make me gain weight, and that's not good for me. So I have to eat stuff that's lean, maybe like look for savory stuff. And yeah, it's a little bit dull and gray, but I don't mind it. It's good for me. So,
Mhm,
and I'm not even saying that sarcastically. I literally mean it.
mhm,
Uh,
mhm.
or I could take the blue pill and I could start eating more desserts and cakes and ice cream and whatever, gain a lot of weight, and but now I'm becoming a slob and I'm going, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, it
it's
affects
like
your whole.
yeah, it's like you do have that option to go back because again, it feels good, not because it is. So
Mm, that's right. It only feels good. And that's what the left is all about, feeling good. And this is why we call it the Matrix,
yes,
because it's all about feelings. And oh, we know that none of this stuff is real. We know that there's not really 72 genders, but this is feels good. It's a
yep,
matrix. And not not wanting to see the true. And then you have people who are seeing the true and it was like, even if you want that, even if it feels good, it's not real, because once you get um prostate cancer, you can't go to the doctor and say, "Hey, my uterus is not acting right." They're gonna say this person is mentally unstable. What uterus? And you gotta keep it real. Be real with yourself.
yep.
But I'm gonna go. I'll go because I'm at 2 hours and I'll probably just go have me some ice cream and be fat. I know, Gamma. I know. Listen, I've been trying to change my diet. But the thing is, I I finally
But you're
started
a girl,
liking.
you can do that.
No, I can't. I'm in competition. Remember, women are always in competition with other women.
Oh, right, right, right. I forgot.
So technically, I can't. I can't just let myself go. But I'm letting myself go for a month, and then after the end of this month, I'm going to dedicate myself to lean. I promise. But right now, let me enjoy. Good night, everybody. Thank you all for joining me. And Gamma, you can't go anywhere because Carrie's in the back, and I'm gonna put you backstage. You just wait with him, okay? Don't go out yet. And I'm going to let the pride go because I'm not going to hold them hostage anymore. Thank you guys. I know, right? I'm keeping it real. Keep it real, my nukas. Bottom of the barrel or bottom of the bottle. You just got here. You married your love. No, my husband is no. He's not the type of guy who's going to be like, "I love you either way." No, my husband is a realist. He told me one time, he's like, "If I can't get it up with you, we're going to have a problem." Anyway, but thank you all for joining me. I appreciate you all for being here. And I am going to take off and relax, I guess, for a little bit. And then I'll probably go to bed. I don't think I'm going to have ice cream, actually. I'm just kidding. Slightly. But all right, then. I'll see you guys later. And with that, I yield my time. Good night, everyone.
You're muted.
I was going off. I was going off too. I'm like, you don't think I'm gonna? Yeah. I said, you don't think I can come back? You think you can just start talking trash when I'm leaving? Huh? You, Blindy, I will listen. You keep going. You're gonna end up in a naughty corner every time you come here. Every time I see you, you're just gonna be naughty corner straight away. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do, old Blindy.